Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to part two. New York meets Australia right down under in Melbourne. Unfortunately, I do love WA. We'll go into that later. But what a chat it was, part one. Get to know Valene over in New York. Well, I have to come and visit one day now. I've always wanted to go to America properly, like around the traps and meet so many people. Your story is, in my belief, the story of people really grasp what you're all about, and I think it will draw people to what kind of person you are, what kind of space you're going to be giving to people to become better people, and obviously, work on their inner child and stuff. So let's go into who you are, because I think I can see a beautiful energy here. As I said, you got the candle there. I think it's fire, but let's go into what you are and your story, and let's get these people to understand who you really are, because I think you've got a lot to tell. I think you're a very wise lady. I think you've got a lot to tell and a lot of knowledge that you've got to give to others so they can be better. So let's go into we were talking about we had to talk about when you had the spiritual sort of split, I guess. And then you saw your grandma in the psychic's eyes, or the healer's eyes.
Yeah.
Let's go from there. Where are you going? So what's the next focal points that you've got to get to you talking to me right now? Go.
Okay, cool. Love it. So essentially, at this moment, once I saw my grandmother in Jen's eyes, it dawned on me that there's way more to this reality than what I had previously understood or was even remotely privy to the fact was there. So by the time I flew back to New York after this retreat in Joshua Tree, which was out in California, I bought my first Oracle deck, and then I just started binging all kinds of YouTube videos and blogs and anything I could find about psychic abilities. Eventually, I ended up working with a woman who's also in Australia, which is so funny that I keep getting connected to people in Australia. I love it.
Well, you're quite welcome over here anytime.
Yes, I will definitely be coming. And so essentially, I ended up working with this woman who helped me open up my intuition more and really get in touch with all of my abilities and to be able to confidently read for other people. Then I started my own reading practice, and I started Rising Sparrows Facebook group, which is actually still going, but again, we've transferred from the psychic to more personal growth, empowerment, transformation type of stuff over there. And then I started hosting retreats and helping other women go, essentially get in tune with their inner child. And so that's probably
so might as well just say, do you predominantly work with women, or do you work with men and women, or is it just is it one of those things where women just flock to you? Is that how it works?
Predominantly, but I actually have a lot of men that I've also done readings for and coaching and different things like that. And so I don't want to discount it. I think if anything, it almost seems kind of like women heavy in the spiritual community, but there's definitely guys in there as well. I think coming from obviously being a guy, obviously, it's sort of my job to sort of what you were saying, to set people open to this. It's really weird though, sorry to cut you off. It's no, you're good.
You don't really, I don't know if you can answer this, because Jackie and I always have these conversations. When you're coming into your real self, you don't really want, especially with us being what we are now in the spiritual community, people think it's a bit flaky and a bit fluffy. Let's be honest. They think it's all from, Buffy the Vampire Slayer and all those, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But when they actually do it, they actually see it's more inner work and inner growth. I had a guy that I hang around with at the, with the band scene, and he came to me and goes, I love what you're doing. I watch your videos. Now I know what kind of guy you are. I wouldn't have picked it. Okay, well, thank you so much. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about working with people? So do they, especially males and females?
Yeah, I mean, I'm open to everything. Like, most of the people that I work with and meet with, like, they're the people that least, like, look the least suspecting to be, like, on a spiritual path or to be into the stuff. So it's like, it's going to be both ways, you know what I mean? And if anything, we need more men in the community so that we can get through the
Yeah,
what do you want to call it? Like the unhealed masculine aspects, so.
Yeah, it's very interesting with that one, because you say you get, when you go to these places, like I've done a fair few DDP yoga seminars at the Mind Body Spirit Festival, and you get those people there, so you look like you're channeling something there. So just getting a bit of a delay there. You're okay. Keep going. Sorry, got a bit of a delay with the. Yeah, keep going. Yeah, sorry, keep going. Sorry, just a bit of a delay on the internet. Sorry, keep going. Yeah, go for it.
Where was I?
I'm not sure. It's sort of. Okay, you're still going. Okay, it's okay. It says your bandwidth is a bit low, so that's all right. That's okay. We'll keep going. That's okay. So that's okay. We'll keep going. But with regards to the you said you work with a lot of ladies and stuff like that, especially. Mm-hmm. Why are they coming to see you, and what are you offering? And with your story, do you tell them your story, and then they come to you and go, "Oh, hang on, now you resonated with me." You know what I mean?
Yeah. Most of the time when people find me, they say that they were literally asking the universe, like, to show them, and my ears ringing as soon as I said that. They're like, I've been looking for somebody, and then all of a sudden you just popped up, and I get messages like that, and it's just so funny. And I'm like, that's how it works. Like, as soon as the student is ready, the teacher appears, Yep. So it's always so funny. I love it. But yeah, so
and what do they do when they come to see you? Are they open to everything you're saying, or do they come up and ask you questions?
Oh, absolutely.
So how do you initiate a client? So people want to know, okay, we're going to go see this lovely lady in New York, and she's done such great things, heard her story. Hey, okay, I've got all these powers coming, or something's going on. I don't understand. How can you help me? Because you look like you know what you're talking about, and you can help me. What are you going to do?
I definitely use my story to help guide people a lot, for sure, especially like in sessions, because I think at the end of the day, we just want to know that we're not alone, and that we have other people that can relate to the things that we're going through. And so most of the time, the people I work with, I'm not seeking them, they're seeking me. And they end up finding me through like a podcast, or through a random YouTube video, or through like some random like channel that I've put my energy into somewhere in the last, handful of years.
Yep.
So it's really cool when they like just pop in and let me know, like, hey, I really resonated with this particular story. And a lot of the times they're going through something that I've already gone through, and it just makes me feel so much love inside to know that, like, I can hold space for this human being who is going through a hard time and just needs somebody to listen and to reflect back to them, the things that they're going through, and just help guide them back to their truth.
How do you find when people come and see you, are they very open to you straight up, or do they sort of like go, okay, I don't know why I'm saying this to you, I don't know why I'm here in some ways, but you, as I said to you, say you've got a beautiful energy and a beautiful aura, and you've got, and do they go, oh, I can't believe I'm telling you this because I've never told anyone like that? Tell us a little bit about when someone does come and see you. It's not, just tell us what happens. I mean, obviously you're very comforting, I can already tell. So tell us all about it.
Yeah. So, I mean, for the most part, the people that come to me for my services are already very much open to the fact that I'm, spiritually tuned in, that I've been through a lot of stuff, and, chances are they resonate. But where that aspect comes in, where they're like, I don't know why I'm telling you this, that usually actually happens when I'm in public. Like, I'll be at a store and somebody's like cashing me out, and then they just start telling me about their abusive boyfriend and what they did to them last night. And I'm just standing there like, I don't know you. Like, I just came in here to buy this drink, and now you're telling me your life story. But I always know by this point now, I understand that apparently my aura just gives it off. Like, the energy just subconsciously
You're really developing that. Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah. But it's just super funny because it's like, even if I go to like a party and like, there's random people, like by the end of the night, somebody is coming over to just tell me their life story. And I don't know why I'm telling you this and blah, blah, blah. So it's like, it is super funny. And I think that's just the nature of people that have gone through a lot of stuff. It's like, if you've gone through it and you've made it out through the other side, it's like your energy in some way gives that off to other people that are going through something that they can't quite, or haven't quite figured out how to overcome themselves, I guess.
Yeah, that's the way when we feel that when people come to us, because you wonder, like, I mentor a lot, especially being a male, Obviously, being a teacher and stuff, I mentor a lot of kids, and a lot of kids don't have the. Okay, I say this. Look, get ready for the red flag coming up, because I know people are going to crack at me. But there's not a lot of male role models, proper male role models, and what I mean by that is in this day in society, we're very ego driven into doing things for ourselves and being the best person we can. Yeah, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But I just see the lack of the male influence over these kids. And not to say the female influence is great. It is. It has to be there. But you got to have the nature. You got to have the nurture, and you got to have the strength. The male is obviously the strength, and they want a safe space. And I know, I can tell what's going on. Toxic schools and stuff, man. Jeez, you can tell when something happens. You can see these kids just need something to believe in. You know what I mean? That's an old Poison song. If you know Poison back in the 80s, they said something to believe in. And I think that's how that's how I do it. How about yourself? What do you, with that comment? What do you reckon? An amazing set of situations that you've gone into. You were saying something about a book or something earlier on, I think, if I can remember. Do you want to talk about that? Was it I'm not sure, something about, said a real good word. We said incest, problems with incest and stuff like that. Let's go down that path. Leaded you into that. Tell me a little bit about that book or that you were talking about.
Yeah. Yep. So essentially I started reading the book, The Emotional Incest Syndrome. The subtitle is called When a Parent's Love Rules Your Life. And essentially a couple months ago, I actually came across the first YouTube video. I had never heard of emotional incest before. And I thought I might as well give it a go, because obviously I love exploring these different topics. But essentially it really helped me heal the other half of my parental wounding with my dad. But essentially emotional incest is way more common than people might think. Like, anyone listening to this right now might think that sounds really gross, but it's actually a very common thing. So let me paint a scenario for you and tell you why this applies to my life, or has applied.
Okay.
So essentially my parents got divorced when I was around 12. And I had already shared, the way that my mother treated me. And so essentially my dad was a very big pushover / people pleaser / nice guy. And so I essentially clung to that parent and thought that he was like the really safe parent. So when they got divorced, thankfully I got to live with my dad and we moved in with my grandma. But at the time I didn't realize that I basically stepped in as my dad's wife, minus like the physical parts of being someone's wife. But I basically took care of all of his emotional needs and even physical needs when it comes to like cooking and cleaning and doing all these things at 12 years old. And so it was a very inappropriate amount of, I guess, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but essentially like he was using me as like his therapist and talking about all the stuff that went wrong with their marriage and like details about my mother cheating.
Keep going. Let's go. Keep going. I reckon this is more common than what you think. Keep going.
Oh, absolutely. And so essentially the book breaks this down into 3 types of emotional incest. And I had the romanticizing parent where essentially I was playing his surrogate spouse, where I, again, was meeting all of his emotional needs while mine were not being nowhere close to being met as a child. And then I'm taking care of him and cooking and cleaning and doing all of these things. And then there's also the other type of emotional incest is when a parent, generally it happens with the same sex parent-child dynamic, where they become like best friends, so to speak. And then the third type is when a child essentially has to take care of a parent that is an addict of some kind.
Yep.
Or maybe they have some type of, some kind of mental issue. And then the child then is not only their emotional support, but then their physical outlet for anger and rage and aggression. And so reading this book, I have goosebumps everywhere, but it opened me up to finally clear out that not that the healing journey is never ending, but like clear out the last brunt of that work that I've been doing with my inner child around the wounds that I have with my dad. And so, again, if anyone is listening to this, I would highly, 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 highly recommend reading this book, because it not only breaks down these different dynamics and how our parents impact us in these various ways in a very inappropriate type of way, but it also shares how to have healthier relationships between parents and children, as well as two adults who are in a marriage or in some type of, committed relationship. And so it's a really wonderful book that, whether you're deciding to become a parent or not, or maybe you're already a parent and want to heal the relationship with your children, absolutely recommend reading that book, because it will blow your mind open in ways that I can't express.
So what was that book? I think you sent it to me in the chat. Yeah. So I'll put a picture of the book up there. I'll recommend also for you the Shadow book. Okay. I'll send you a copy of it. The Shadow book. It's a new one that's come out. It's talking about going into the shadow. So we're looking at personal stuff, and then it's very funny. You do it where they're using people. I mean, we come into our abilities at a younger age, really, don't we? Which is great. We come into that, which is awesome. And then, I think people, we do. I mean, when you look back on it, do you feel like you were like, not just with your parents, but do you think other people were talking to you as a adult when you were, say, a kid, not in any not in any destructive way, where we'll use the word destructive, but they were sort of because you had that safe space, they were just unloading on you with all their bloody problems and all those kind of things,
Yeah, no, absolutely. More than just, that's actually been a theme throughout my life up until a few years ago when I started learning how to set healthy boundaries. And now I no longer tolerate that kind of, interactions with people.
This is amazing. This is exactly why I do what I do, because that experience that I never would have thought that. I mean, we all go through it, but looking at it at a deeper level, and actually putting it into that spin that you talked about, you put it into that space and that spin, amazing stuff. I mean, it's another angle, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I love how the journey just keeps going. You just keep unlocking different
Absolutely. And as I said, we've got a self-sabotage. You've got Karen Mandel. You've got a hypnotherapist over in England. Chris is over there, Chris Popupney. And then you've got Cortez, who does semen retention. He talks about the power of the semen retention, which I've done. And then you've got Diana and now we've got yourself. And we've got so many great people that look at certain individuals and certain traumas and certain situations. And, you're an expert in that. Let's be honest. I mean, I've never really heard it put that way. That's why I'm excited about what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, read that book. I'm telling you, you'll feel like an expert. By the time you're done, you're like, what the hell? And now I can see not just my dynamics with my parents, but even dynamics of people I was close to growing up, like my cousins that I was really close to, and how their parents impacted them and why they are the way that they are as adults. And so it's like such a powerful, mind-blowing, like you cannot see the world the same after you read that book. I'm telling you.
Fantastic. Well, on that note, Valene, I'm going to get you back on in 6 months' time. I've got another interview coming up. I've got to get prepared for another, but it has been an absolute pleasure. Now, what we need to do is we need to find out where they can find you, and we can talk about you can where they can find you, and we can contact. Obviously, you'll be able to contact through Journey of a Whitefeather, and this will be on SoundCloud, on all Apple Play, Google Play, Spotify very, very soon as well. But where can they find you, Valene?
Yeah, everyone can find me on Instagram at Valene.Evanciew. I'm sure he will leave it in the show notes because my spelling of my name is a nightmare.
No worries. Good. If you could just send me that on the chat, we'll get some get all the details. That'd be great. Keep going. I mean, do you have a YouTube? Do you have a YouTube channel as well?
Yep.
Or?
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel that's Valene Evanciew as well. And then I also have a Facebook group called The Rising Sparrows. So if you would like to join me for live streams and different stuff like that. Yep, I do live streams and Motivational Mondays. I do giveaways and all kinds of really fun stuff over there. So if you guys want to check that out, definitely join us over there. Everyone is welcome.
Absolutely fantastic. Well, Valene, it's been a pleasure. as I said, I love talking to people like yourself. I feel like I've known you for so long. When you connect with people, it's amazing. So we've got, you know, obviously going through the full moon. We had the full moon last night, you know, probably for you this tonight. And, you know, we're going through, we got Halloween tomorrow. Get ready for it, ladies and gentlemen. The veil is coming off, ladies and gentlemen. It's my Christmas, believe me. But Valene, thank you so much for being involved and being involved and being interviewed on Journey on the 11. Well, I call it Chat with Jay on behalf of the 1111 Spiritual Transit Podcast and Journey of a Whitefeather. It's been a pleasure to have you on board, and now we've connected. You know, it's going to be a great journey that we've come together. And remember, you can come and everyone who listens to us, and also you, Valene, just jump on to my channels. You got Journey of a Whitefeather on YouTube, and also you've got Journey of a Whitefeather on Instagram, and White Warrior Health's Journey of a Whitefeather on Facebook. You can come and join. We help promote everyone in the spiritual community, especially people who have taken the time to come on board and interview. And this is just, as I said, I love doing what I do because I get to talk to people who have had similar experiences, but also have the gift and a life PhD to help people. And especially the last 10 minutes, what Valene was talking about, just opened my eyes to say why I do what I do. So, no, it's amazing. So thank you so much, Valene, for being involved. And apologies for the internet is such a thing, you know, but we'll work it out. So we'll be able to go part 1, part 2. Thank you very much. You have a lovely day over there. And ladies and gentlemen, as we do and as we sign off, thank you to Valene. And as Jackie and I always sign off with our hero, Bret the Hitman Hart. I think Valene will know, WWE champion. You got wrestling over there. He always says, get up in the morning and always be the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be, and you will be your best self. Thank you so much, Valene. We'll talk very, very soon. Be your best self. Take care, guys.